Council of Europe is a regional international organization which was established after the Second World War, basically to keep peace and stability in the continent. For these reasons, it has a governing body, the Council of Europe, and a court which deals with individual cases, and which you all know, European Court of Human Rights, which makes its judgments based on European Convention on Human Rights. But Council of Europe, in order to keep the peace and stability and also advance the coherence between member states, had made several conventions throughout the years, so adopted several conventions, and all of them are based on the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties. So I'm mentioning all of that because it really shows you the environment where these model contractual clauses are created that was not very familiar at the beginning to the work of the Council of Europe. There are other areas where we have been within the committee also very active, that was also discussed throughout the conference this year, these days. Some of the topics that you might be interested are political campaigns, voting elections, the health-related data. We also have recommendation on profiling and direct marketing, recommendation on algorithmic processes, and we have open conventions such as the one on cybercrime, which is the Budapest Convention, and one on a brand new convention, a framework convention on artificial intelligence. So if you are interested more in like a global dimension of these topics, I recommend you reading these or get acquainted with these instruments. And among these instruments, there is the Convention on Data Protection, which we call Convention 108, which is actually an old convention. That was also some of the difficulties that we have, that the old convention was open to signature in 1981. UK is, of course, a party to this convention, but we have with the UK, we have 55 more parties to the convention and 36 observers. So it's, when we have plenary meetings, it's roughly about 100 delegations coming to Strasbourg discussing issues and topics. And this is where, and this was the environment where the model contractual clauses of the Council of Europe was discussed and drafted and then adopted, because I'm very happy to announce or to inform you that 3 modules have been already completed, and the third module was adopted a few weeks ago on 6th of June. Therefore, we have a full set of clauses for the main purposes that was already mentioned before. Because Convention 108, since the beginning and since the 80s, had 2 main objectives. One was the free flow of data between parties, and the second one was the protection of individuals against interference in their private life. And free flow of data was, as so Eduardo mentioned, that had some limitations, it had some obstacles, even within the parties of Council of Europe. So we also had, in the years 2000, a set of clauses already adopted for Council of Europe member states. But it was very little known. I don't know how many of you are aware of that. Even I was not aware of these clauses that was adopted in 2000. But some of the countries use them. For instance, we can find still them on the page, web page of the Swiss Data Protection Authority. But against this background, and because Convention 108 also needed some modernization, and that was carried out in 2018, also taking into account all the developments at the European Union level with regard to GDPR and the Law Enforcement Directive, we have a brand new convention which we believe will stand the test of time because it has the same objectives: the free flow of data between parties and facilitation of free flow of data outside of the parties and the protection of individuals in the digital age. Therefore, it was really time for us to update and have a new set of model contractual clauses based on this convention and on these very objectives. So therefore, what I can say is that it has been a very successful process, although it was not easy, because we have been negotiating with already countries and also regional organizations such as European Commission or other countries coming from other regions that have already been have already had some model contractual clauses or standard contractual clauses. Therefore, we try to set the level of these clauses in a commonly satisfactory level that can satisfy everyone and every requirements and every jurisdiction that participated in the negotiations and also beyond. We believe that these clauses can not be useful for Council of Europe member states and parties Convention 108, but also beyond. And basically, because of the fact that these are, and main characteristics of these clauses are the following: that these are rights-based clauses which are binding and enforceable. There are a great deal of accountability measures implemented or inputted in the clause. And there is also, which is very important for organizations such as the Council of Europe, an independent oversight mechanism foreseen that can, we believe, work in all jurisdictions, taking into account some of the domestic legal frameworks specificities. There is also a redress mechanism foreseen that, and here is an important part, refers back the whole redress procedures to international private law, which is a very well-established procedures and modus operandi for dispute resolutions.